Hello, and welcome to Anime Audio Commentary. Today I'll be commenting on Episode 4 of Konosuba Season 3. If you'd like to watch along, then start watching now. So I guess we're getting right into it, Kazuma and everybody have to spend time with this poor guy to try and catch a thief. And I find it interesting that Aqua's chastising Kazuma for getting everyone into trouble. I mean, it really does seem like this is the way things mean to go on, where Kazuma causes trouble rather than him being effectively a bystander. I mean, I'm more used to Konosuba being like the party causing trouble and Kazuma having to go along with things. Although that said, Alderp, this guy, he has reason to just sort of dislike everyone, really. I mean, Megumin especially, and Kazuma too, but man. Oh, Kazuma. I mean, this clearly isn't what the guy meant. He said darkness was welcome to stay as long as she wanted, but wow. Are we really going to live in a world where darkness is the voice of reason here? It's so over. So I can't help but wonder, how is everything going to backfire? So, I mean, Kazuma talked a big deal about trying to catch this thief and all that, but, a thief is just a thief. Unless, of course, Kazuma were to, confront the thief, Oh, I know where this is going. Kazuma's gonna do something, and it's not gonna be good. If this mirror has its own room, Yeah, okay, that's about what I figured. Oh. Okay. So, wow, this is a roller coaster. I thought, Alderp would kick Kazuma out, but at the same time, he offered to, use the mirror, and Kazuma's like, oh no, I wouldn't do that. I thought this was going to be a rare moment of bonding between the two of them. There's common ground, but Kazuma just wants to hog the mirror for himself. I mean, this is a hitherto unforeseen low that Kazuma has now reached. Wow. I mean, I can't condone the actions one way or the other, but it's incredible how Kazuma has so succinctly torpedoed one just definitive way to make a friend. And now darkness has to be the rational person again. It's so over. It's never been this over. And now the mirror's broken. You get what you deserve. Man. You know, I'm not surprised that nothing much has happened aside from that mirror breaking, and frankly, like, I guess what they say about breaking a mirror being bad luck is true, because now they don't get to peep in on people anymore. Ooh. Kazuma is lying ineptly. Like, oh yeah, I'm staying up late to watch out for the thief. Like, there's no way that's true. Yeah, you know, it is interesting that since, like, the whole party is here to stay and look out for the thief, only Kazuma is actually doing anything. And to be fair, I don't think he's actually diligently working and keeping an eye out, but I mean, at least he's the only one putting up an effort to try and look like he's working. And you know what? This has kind of come out of nowhere, too. I mean, maybe it was addressed in the film that I didn't watch and still haven't watched. You know, now that I say it out loud, I guess that does make sense. There probably was something in that film I should have seen. I do have to say, that was a rather impressive explosion, but, man, someday, right? You know, let me go, blow up something, and then you carry me home. Something tells me that this is going to get everyone in trouble, too. Man. I mean, once again, darkness has to be the rational person while Aqua's getting drunk with the maids. Like, that's not good. I mean, at least she's getting along with some people, but man. Wow. You know, something tells me nobody's going to appreciate them destroying the landscape like that. And furthermore, I get the feeling that Cosmo and company are gonna eat this guy out of house and home if they're demanding, like, fancy food and all sorts of alcohol and stuff. Like, I mean, I was given to understand that Alderp is spectacularly wealthy, but even so, there's gotta be a limit, right? You know, I mean, even if there's not necessarily a limit on his money, there's certainly a limit on his goodwill, right? Because, like, at some point, having all these people around has got to be worse than being robbed by a thief, right? Man, I have to say, I do find it mildly unsettling that darkness has to be the voice of reason. It's not a world I want to live in, you know? I'd rather have her be just like, well, I can't say normal. Normal for her, I guess. Ooh. Unless my eyes deceive me, that's Chris. And, you know, if Chris is the thief, then, it's as good as done. You know, Kazuma will just do what he normally does and call it a day. But, ooh. You know, I'm wondering if Chris really actually is the thief. So it would be funny, but at the same time, it might just be, coincidental. And actually, now that I think about it, I'm thinking that might be the case, even if there isn't necessarily a good reason for it. Man. So Chris better have a real good explanation for what's going on here. So, I mean, I guess when you get down to it, Chris is a rogue, right? Yeah, okay. So it was all incidental, but at the same time it does cause trouble. And I guess seeing as how Chris says she has a good reason for it, you know, that could very well be the case, but now I'm intrigued, because, I mean, what good reason do you need to rob a noble aside from the obvious one? It's also interesting that Cosmo's finally playing a sensible role saying, like, I don't want to know why you're here because I'll get involved. It's amazing that only now does he realize that, maybe he shouldn't get involved in things. Yeah, I feel like this isn't the end of it. Yeah, this isn't the end of it, if only because Kazuma is now thoroughly embarrassed. You know what? I don't think they're gonna buy his lies. I mean, that wasn't exactly a good lie. And I guess it's only worse now that he's just gonna dig himself deeper into a hole, like making up details whole cloth. I think it would be funny if he went through this whole ordeal of describing the thief and everything like that, and then it turned out to be an actual person who matches the description. That wouldn't be too far outside the realm of possibility. Ooh. Uh-oh. I feel like it's not a good thing Aqua's apologizing before if she's only doing it now that he's tied up. Okay, so she broke one of his possessions. I imagine it's like a figure or something like that. Oh no. Ooh. Yeah, I think this is real typical Aqua behavior, that she would really just take the time to apologize when it's absolutely safe. So I think we all know Kazuma would probably, like, throttle her if he weren't tied up. Ooh. This is a rare and dangerous situation where there seems to have been a coalition formed that, seeing as how Kazuma's tied up, they have the opportunity to really teach him a lesson. Alright. You know what? He deserves it. And I think it's nice that Darkness is the one dishing it out. Yeah, now I'm wondering, like, is this the last straw? Like, surely it must be for Alderp, right? To come upon a scene like this in the middle of the night, like... Ooh. Okay, so this is bad. They failed, and now, they have to report it to the princess in person. And they're passing along all those lies. Yeah, you know what? I feel like this is really only going to snowball. So I guess part of the problem is that, seeing as how he does have a formidable reputation, then that must mean whoever this thief is, they're really formidable. And so they're effectively going to build up this phantom opponent who doesn't exist, but... Oh. Okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense that Iris is being nice to him, but I don't know if he necessarily deserves that. Okay. This is fast. I thought we might spend a little more time in this sort of remit, but I guess not. But, man. Rip Kazuma. He has to leave now. Okay, so now they're mentioning new characters we haven't mentioned yet. And I have to wonder, is this foreshadowing? Are you gonna meet these people? Ooh. Okay, well I guess that was just sort of the setup to a joke, you know, stealing Aqua's things. Ooh. This guy again. I wonder how he's been doing ever since he lost his sword and all that. Probably, like, reasonably good, I guess. Better than Cosma if I had to wager, but... man. I mean, I guess we did hear about him from the princess and all that. Ooh. Yeah, I think that's a real tactful way of admitting that he forgot Mitsurugi's name. You know, like, oh, we're not that well acquainted enough, I won't say your full name. Man. Ooh. Wow, that's, odd. To give a diamond ring like that to Aqua just for, you know, bumping into her. I mean, if he has, like, enough wealth to give away a rock like that, that's something. I guess it's unfortunate that Aqua has fat fingers, but, you know, wow. That seems like an awfully extravagant gesture. I mean, especially considering that it's Aqua. Kazuma's got the right idea here. You know, no more trouble. It's time to get out of here. And I find it interesting that we see various squishy items, you know, when the scuffle happens. I think that's a really tactful way to get around it in animation. So I guess the question is, you know, what's the actual problem that Chris has? I feel like it's gotta relate to Cosma's lies, you know, if only coincidentally. Just because it would be funny, you know? Alright. So hunting these divine treasures. Ooh. Okay, so the plot's thickening. You know, there are these divine treasures only given to people with dark hair and weird names like Kazuma. So this is, I guess, sort of, calling out the isekai nature of this. You know, only people who get sent here from another world can benefit from these items. And that Kazuma might be able to collect them. That's something. Oh! Okay, so Kazuma's only now realizing that Chris stole that hammer from him. Wow. That's kind of slow of him. So I guess the issue is, you know, Chris wants to get into the castle, but Kazuma, he doesn't really have any use, or excuse rather, to go back to the castle. So, I mean, would this really work now? Because, I mean, sure, Kazuma's necessary to get the treasure or what have you, but at the same time... yeah, you know, I guess the plot's developing in an interesting way, because I feel like, I thought I might have been onto something with, like, an intruder suspiciously like the one Kazuma described appearing, but... you know, maybe that'll crop up later. I find it interesting that Kazuma would pray for peace and quiet, because I feel like there's just no way something like that's going to be granted. Yeah, you know, I guess if the Demon King's army's showing up, there's no hope of peace or quiet. So I guess the question is, how is Kazuma going to get roped up in this and, I mean, I guess we know all adventurers have to muster for something like this, but surely they're going to call out Kazuma specifically, right? It's going to be something horrible like that. You know, it's interesting that he's not even willing to muster, considering that he's, you know, a mid-level adventurer at best, but... Man, I feel like that's kind of uncharacteristic. Like, it's not out of the ordinary for him to be a coward or being unwilling. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Something about it doesn't quite add up. Like, I guess it makes sense Darkness would want to go, but that she's seemingly doing it out of duty rather than because she wants to be beaten by a monster. I mean, I feel like Kazuma should want to go, if only to wrangle everyone and make sure they don't cause any trouble. Yeah, it truly is the darkest timeline where Darkness is the wrangler that has to handle all these people. Ooh. Oh, here's the twist. Kazuma can regain the princess's favor. You know, sometimes all you need to do is just reassess your priorities. Wow, just like that, Kazuma's willing to be heroic. You know what? I might be speaking a little too soon, but I'm thinking we're back. Like, this is the time right here, right now, where Kazuma walks back and it says, like, hey guys, we're gonna go do it, come on. And just starts wrangling them like he used to. Oh, here we go. Just kicking open the door like that. Let's go. Classic. Alright, well that's it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, then by all means, tune in for the next one. See you, Space Cowboy.